If you set a potato on fire, the energy that potato releases as heat can make a glass of water boil. Now, instead of igniting that potato, imagine eating it instead. Just as the energy from the burning potato boiled the water, the potato you ate will go on to fuel you. Except there are no flames and heat involved in this latter process. Instead, the body, very slowly, breaks the potato down into basic molecules called nutrients that supply your body with energy. With this energy, you can do math problems, run in a race, lift weights, or even just laze around on the couch. So, how exactly does the body use that potato to create energy? The answer is cellular respiration. Cellular respiration is how your cells convert the food you eat through a multi-step process into energy that your cells can use. Many organisms, including animals, plants, and some bacteria, eat food and breathe in oxygen to generate energy in the form of ATP, as well as two byproducts, carbon dioxide and water, which the cell eventually throws out. Some organisms, like certain bacteria, can produce ATP without oxygen. This is called anaerobic respiration. Before we dig into the process of cellular respiration, let's take a look at ATP. Adenosine triphosphate is a cell's energy currency. Just as you might exchange money for a shiny new thing, a cell spends ATP in exchange for energy, which it then uses to do some form of work. Chemically, ATP stores energy through the phosphates. The three phosphates hanging like a tail at the end of the adenosine molecule are negatively charged, and since they have all the same charge, they repel each other. So, when an enzyme breaks the bond holding the two phosphates together, it relieves some of the electrostatic repulsion, which results in a release of energy that the cell can use to do work. This 2-phosphate molecule is ADP. ADP will be recycled to make more ATP by adding another phosphate to it. So, how does cellular respiration happen? Your cells love sugars, carbohydrates, particularly glucose, and will preferably use that to generate ATP. In fact, the brain almost exclusively runs on sugar. In case the reserve of glucose runs out, cells move on to breaking down fats, and as a last resort, proteins. One glucose molecule can generate up to 32 molecules of ATP through cellular respiration. This is only an estimate, and scientists are still fine-tuning this number, but it's the number we'll use for this discussion. Converting glucose into ATP occurs in 3 steps: glycolysis, the Krebs cycle, and finally, a process called oxidative phosphorylation. These processes are nothing but chemical reactions. However, instead of happening in a test tube, they happen within our cells. Most of these reactions are very slow, so cells have molecules called enzymes that speed these processes up. Enzymes are simply catalysts, chemical matchmakers that bring the two molecules required for a reaction together and help them react. There are more than 100 enzymes involved in cellular respiration, so listing all their names would take a very long time. Therefore, we'll skip most of the enzymes, except a few crucial ones. Step 1. Glycolysis. Imagine that you're eating your morning slice of toast. The digestive system breaks down the bread into smaller nutrients. Through the bloodstream, the glucose makes its way into the cells, where glycolysis takes place. The goal of glycolysis is to break down the 6-carbon glucose into 2 3-carbon molecules called pyruvic acid or pyruvates, as well as produce some ATP in the process. Just as a business needs some starting investment money before it can turn a profit, the cell must first invest some energy, 2 ATP molecules, to begin glycolysis. Later reactions yield energy, namely 4 ATP molecules, giving a total net energy profit of 2 ATP molecules. Glycolysis also produces 2 molecules of NADH. We'll come to NADH in the next section. Step 2. The Krebs cycle. Some bacteria and eukaryotes, like yeast, don't perform the Krebs cycle under certain conditions. They instead perform fermentation, converting the pyruvate into various other chemicals, like lactic acid and alcohols. In fact, human muscles also produce lactic acid through a similar route when they don't get enough oxygen. This is why your muscles feel sore after you exercise. However, in the organisms that do perform the Krebs cycle, the pyruvate will make their way to the powerhouse of the cell, the mitochondria. For those who need a rapid overview of the mitochondria, they have two membranes, an outer and an inner, while between them is a fluid-filled space called intermembrane space. The inner membrane folds into squiggles called cristae. The inside of the mitochondria is the matrix. In the matrix, the pyruvate is converted into a 2-carbon molecule called acetyl coenzyme A, or simply acetyl-CoA. This molecule will now enter the Krebs cycle. Acetyl-CoA will react with the starting molecule, oxaloacetate, to create citric acid, which is why this process is also called the citric acid cycle. After this, a series of 8 reactions occur that produce byproducts like carbon dioxide and water, and the process regenerates oxaloacetate all over again, which is why it's called a cycle. Add a new acetyl-CoA molecule, and the cycle would begin all over again. However, the most important product that the Krebs cycle yields is NADH and FADH2. Chemically, these two substances are simply the vitamin B3, niacin, and vitamin B2, riboflavin. More importantly, they hold with them energized electrons that can be used to generate ATP. Think of it like this. You're exchanging gold for its weight in money. NADH gives 2.5 ATP molecules, and FADH2 gives 1.5 ATP molecules. One cycle of the Krebs cycle yields 3 NADH and 1 FADH2. Step 3. The electron transport chain and oxidative phosphorylation. To cash in these molecules and get ATP, the NADH and FADH2 must donate their electrons to the electron transport chain. The electron transport chain is made of 4 large protein complexes in the inner mitochondrial membrane. They play pass the parcel, essentially, with the electrons. As they pass the electron, the protein complexes transfer protons from the matrix to the intermembrane space. This creates an electrochemical gradient. There are more charged protons in the intermembrane space than in the matrix. The gradient has chemical potential energy, and balancing this gradient is what creates ATP through the enzyme ATP synthase. Perhaps the coolest enzyme in the entire cell, ATP synthase converts ADP to ATP by harnessing the gradient's stored energy. This contraption spins as it allows protons back into the matrix, simultaneously harnessing the chemical potential energy to generate ATP. The final electron acceptor is oxygen. Without oxygen to accept the electron, the whole system gets clogged, and ATP synthesis will come to a screeching halt. Cyanide acts as a poison by blocking the electron transfer to oxygen. Eventually, cells can't produce enough ATP and will die. So, what are the results of cellular respiration? Well, first of all, this process generates energy in the form of ATP in order for cells to do work. So, how much total energy do we get from one cycle of cellular respiration? If we do the math from the number here, it should be about 32. But as mentioned, this is just an estimate. There is other research providing other numbers, and additional research is ongoing. Cellular respiration also produces intermediate chemicals. The Krebs cycle creates many molecules that are intermediates. They can be used as starting molecules to create other molecules, which can then go on to become a part of proteins and nucleic acids. Finally, cellular respiration generates CO2, H2O, and heat. As in combustion, respiration produces CO2, water, and some heat as byproducts. We mostly discard this waste. The heat produced from respiration is sometimes used by animals in winter to keep their bodies warm.